Okay, so this is my second try again because I was recording, guys, and I got interruptions because my dad was leaving to go to work and open up the donut shop. And then the dog was trying to run out because I'm like, oh no, you can't run out outside. And the garage is open. The coyotes are going to go get you. And he's a little teeny weeny dog, a little Chihuahua mix. So then the washing machine was going haywire. So it was getting real loud, and I was like, oh, it's probably going to mess up the vocals. You guys can't hear me. So I'm going to retry take two. Okay, so this is usually where your email is, and you'll see the textile of all the great app features you have here. We're going to go to Notebook LM and click that. And if you never made one, it's going to look like this, where it's like blank slate, and you're going to hit create, and it's going to take you to a page that shows you your screen. I've already uploaded something here when I was making the other video, and I had to restart over. But uh, let's see if I can kind of why it's still generating stuff. So I uploaded in here, and you click add source. You can add as many sources as you want. You can add through an uploaded document from your PC. You can upload it from a website. You have the website address. You can, get it from your drive, or you can copy whatever text material and put it in here to have it make you a podcast. And you can even make it search concepts and materials for you if you didn't have any sources. And you can actually have it search some sources for you of material in this little click research thing. I mean, you can like go fast research, deep research, and tell it what you want it to do, or to go onto the web and go to, you know, wherever you want to pull from your drive, wherever it is. So they've quite did a lot of advancements to this than what it was before. Um, I remember only having four options, but it had only the podcast, video. It only had no, it didn't have video. It had podcast, slide deck, flashcards, and report or quiz. And then on the app, it wouldn't generate all of that stuff. It only had a few, but they've advanced it quite a bit from when I started using this. And so once you upload your source, it's going to give you a brief summary of your topic of the source you had. And in this center here, you can actually talk with it and have like typing text communication with Notebook LM. And over here is your studio where you get to really have the real fun and make an audio podcast. We're going to click here, and you can customize it if you want to do a deep dive, a briefing or critique or a debate. And you can make it as short as you want, or go to the default medium, or make it as long as you want if you have a really in-depth topic and you really need more detail. It can do that too. And then you can be in this box here is when you can be really customizable. And it's going to give you some options over here based on what you uploaded into the source. It's going to say, oh, well, it looks like you're doing something in the medical. Do you want clinical, based on the topic of what I see? It's probably saying, oh, do you want clinical safety, student guide, practical flow? It would basically give you cues on ideas that you might want to focus on based on the source. It could be a topic if you're doing law, if you're doing criminal justice, if you're doing um, music appreciation, if you're doing EMT or medical assisting and you got a chapter in there, or like my friend who uses it, I showed her how to do this LVN, and it was like fundamentals of nursing. And I basically had her take pictures of her text of the chapter and then make one single file and then have her generate here to teach her the topic on her subject to help her understand better. But I'm gonna have it make a generic. I had some already making why it's still processing. But I'm gonna go over and go through the tabs here. I was trying to get out of this screen. There we go. So, and then here is when you can make a video. And this is what I couldn't show you in class that wasn't populating, is all these ways of how you want your short audio video. Now remember, these little audio videos and cartoons, it's not going to make you a long video. It's not going to give you a YouTube channel of like 30 minutes. It's going to do short videos like 6 minutes, 10 minutes, based on what it thinks is important. And you can customize it. So you can do more of an explainer. I want a short video. And here it's going to give you suggestions again, like, oh, you want to focus on basic airway, suctioning, based on what I've uploaded. And here you can have it customized how you want it to focus or teach you. And I think I got to sit and help, I believe her name, I'm going to learn everyone's name pretty good. I want to practice. Sigron, I was showing her how if she wanted her video to be more customizable and say like, can you add words? Because since she's helping students learn English from a second language, you can have it say, hey, Gemini, NotebookLM, can you give me words in your cartoon, in the video? You can be really detailed if you like, and really focus it if you like. You can have it auto generate you something generic if you don't want to think, and just give me something. You can customize it however customizable you want. That's kind of a new block that they put there. And then you can do classic NotebookLM style. And then you can have or any of these cartoons like kawaii, anime, watercolors, retro, print, heritage, papercraft, like however aesthetic you want. But let's just go ahead and do classic NotebookLM. I'm going to make one of those. I had to make me auto-generate me one. I'm going to pick classic NotebookLM for this one right now. And then here you can have it do a report. I like to use study guide. Usually only gives you these 4 options first, but it generates some more for me based on what I uploaded. So it based on the content I uploaded, it said, hey, would you like to do on operational procedures, risk management analyst, or mitigation analyst, procedural breakdown, or equipment taxology? Because it saw some of those topics, and it's like, do you want something based on that? Or you can have it make you a blog if you like to read blogs. I think I used to do that for fun, but I never published my blogs. And so, or you can make a study guide. I use a study guide a lot. Or if you're doing staff meetings and you're like having those like strategy meetings when I used to work at the bank, you can make in, a briefing document. So I like to use study guide. I had to generate me one already. But let's go ahead and this one generate a blog and see what. And the blog is going to contain this auto content and generate it for you. But if you don't like the content, you can take some out, add some, however you like. I'm just going to keep that the way it is and have it generate me a report on blog. It can do a quiz. The quiz can be as few as you like, or standard, or more. It can be as easy as you want, medium or hard, and you can be more detailed if you like, or pick some of their suggestions like suction or pressure quiz, or airway anatomy tests, or tracheostomy tubing sizes, however you want the quiz you want, you can have it generate. I had to generate me a generated one, but let's go. I'm just going to skip that. It's generate quite a bit of stuff I already have for you, but I wanted to show you since I had to redo the video with the prior interruptions. Everyone's asleep, so it's easier to make a video before everyone is awake, because then they like to talk and ask questions, and then I have to remind them, hey, I'm doing something. And then you can have it make you a table, and like you can customize a table. This has been very useful in a new feature that they put on that I thought was really great. And then here is when the favorite thing, you guys, I know you're going to like, is when you don't got to generate your own PowerPoint to teach a class. You can have it generate you a PowerPoint when you don't want to make one. And then it's really colorful too. I was really impressed with what it made. So you can have it be detailed deck or presenter style. I usually like to use this when I upload a chapter in the text book for my topic I'm having to learn. And here you can make it as detailed as you want. A 2 as well. Short or default to normal. and then you can have it generate you. Let's see if I do presenter. The other one I did detailed deck. So we're just going to make an extra one, see what that looks like. And it's always going to generate something similar or different unless you want to tell, hey, I want you to be more colorful and more animated, whatever. It's pretty cool. Use the AI system to your tool and your benefit, and it's going to really give you more options, get used to kind of how you like things or try something new. And so here we're doing a mind map. I had it generate me a mind map already. And this is really fun for those people who are really mind map oriented. I, in my lifetime, have really found it hard to use mind map, but with the system, it actually taught me how to use a mind map and use in a way that I can visually understand the concept of using mind map. Because that was really hard for me. It was, just make a mind map, draw a circle, and put these dots here, and put the header here, and then map it out this way. And that was hard for me because my brain didn't register. But the way the mind map is made here is really beneficial to help me really understand and learn each section at a time. I'm going to show you how that works. It's really cool. Oh no, I'm going to have to plug in my laptop really quick, guys. Give me 1 second. I was really going to try to do a brief video, but showing you everything, but give me a few seconds because I don't want the laptop to die on you, because I think this is my second take. The first take, I was just playing with it to see if playing with like how to make a video from my Microsoft Edge, and I was like, oh, this is kind of a cool feature in Microsoft Edge, and seeing all the other features that Microsoft has that I didn't know exists. So now I'm learning some more stuff as I make a video to show you guys, so you can have it anytime you need to. And hopefully I cover everything you need. And then the more you play with it, you'll learn some more stuff too. And I'm sure your students are going to really enjoy this because it really has really changed the game of me learning the material for respiratory therapy. Um, and really give me another tool to strategize how I can process this material so much faster. Because, when you're taking medical classes, especially nursing, RT, or the medical classes I've taken where I got my CNA, EMT, and I didn't have this back then in CNA class or EMT, because that was a while ago. And then it would have been really great if I had this in high school, but they didn't come up with this kind of stuff. So our children are very blessed to have all this technology to use, and makes learning so much easier based on your learning style, your auditory, visual, tactile, or reading, writing type of technique that you really like to do, whatever benefits you. I know I'm basically tactile and visual, but the auditory has really helped a lot to help me like study test questions faster while I'm cleaning the house or cleaning the donut shop. And listening to the podcasts is like, if I don't get a chance to read the chapter prior, at least I got to listen to the podcast it made, and I kind of have an idea of what the teacher's going to lecture about, and remember hearing it in the podcast to help me understand the material better. Because they always say read the chapter before you go to class, but sometimes life gets busy, you don't got time to read, and then sometimes you think you're only reading 20 pages or 10 pages, and it turns out to be 60, and that's a lot, you know in my and read that's a lot of material. But this has really made it a lot more streamlined, more efficient, and way more easier, and made it less stressful to consume all the information, and also be able to hear it from multiple perspectives. And people are used to listening to podcasts now, and it's been very quite nice. So this is the podcast version. If you hit the play button, you can just listen on the top. Like, So this is really cool. I love this feature. And what's new, I see that they add here, it's add some notes. You can actually add some additional notes for yourself as it's reading the podcast, which is a new feature that wasn't here before that I just saw and I was like, oh, this is cool. So as I'm listening to podcasts, I can take some notes for myself and listen to what was sticking out. So that's something new. That's pretty cool. We're just going to delete that because I didn't make any notes yet, but it has that little feature. The desktop has a lot more features, and I see they added some more stuff, and that's kind of cool. And you can actually title however you want. You can download it, and if you want to share it and send it to your students on Viva email to all your students, you can download it, upload it to your email, and send it to them by clicking download, and it's going to download, okay? Up in your download section. So, and the part I didn't really get to share with you in class that I really, really wanted to share you, but it wasn't populating how I wanted to, it kept giving me an error, was with the, let's see here, let me go back to where the podcast was the interactive portion of the podcast. And this was really cool for those people like, what did you say? What did you mention? Can you explain a little more? So I get to be interactive with the pod speakers on the topic. So I can go ahead and play. It's starting their theme. So while they're talking, you say, hey, I got a question real quick. Hit join. Can you tell me, like you can talk to it, can you tell me what the physical pathology of the issue is? Can you clarify a little bit? Thinking right now what I said. I wonder. Let me see if I do a simpler one. It's probably trying to give me a whole explanation. Oh, it's still going through. So it's thinking about what I'm saying. It's probably picking what I'm saying right now. So I probably should just be quiet to let it do its thing. It's taking a little too long for my taste. So, so I can say, there we go. That's how it's supposed to work. Can you tell me what physiological systems? Can you clarify what that is? You really taking long when I'm trying to make a video notebook LM. That's not nice. So let me, what is the physiological systems? It's really taking too long. Maybe because I'm asking a question too soon. Probably because I'm asking a question too soon. It's doing too much thinking. But usually it doesn't take that long. So it's kind of embarrassing me right now because I know it can really be efficient. But we're going to come back to the intro. But it has that portion. And I know when you use it, you'll see it work better. But it's just being funny to me right now because I don't know. But I'll come back to it. Um, we're going to go back to the studio and see what other things it's generated already. So we can kind of go, okay, the mind map. Let's go here in the mind map, what it looks like. And if you can toggle back and forth if you want the screen to be a little bit bigger or smaller. So the mind map it creates is like this. And you see these little arrows, that means it has more material. And it breaks it down to more. Then it has more material. But as you're clicking on things, in the center here, it's going to generate based on what you click on the mind map. Notebook has just got smarter. Try asking to find new sources for the web. Oh, yeah, that's nice. So I'll go open section. Because I click open section, it's going to generate some material here. Allow. It's going to generate some material over here of what I clicked on open section. And so basically summarize that portion. So it's going to go within the borders frame, basically talking about open section versus closed section. And it's going to give you brief material on that and a step-by-step based on the topic you have. And it has these little things here too to show you parts of the chapter and how it's or parts of the PowerPoint and based on the PowerPoint's organizational level. So it shows lets you find it in your PowerPoint. And that's a nice feature. And then you can actually, like, I have touch screen on. It's gonna let me. Oh, why it's recording? It's not letting me do that. Oh, here I can do it from my mouse. So you can make it as big and as small, and you can actually also share it. You can also expand the viewer. You can also more options based on that. Which the more options, this one is just deleting it, or if you want to basically, I want to go see what about ET suction steps, and it's going to give you assessment on how to assess what would be the assessment portion. Clicking on that and generate for you on section by section. So you can use a mind map to teach you section by section if you're needing more, because sometimes, I don't know, looking at the chapter can be kind of overwhelming. So you're like, I need some more structure and breakdown. You can use this mind map that way. In the end, let's go down because I kind of started from the bottom. And here's the study guide where it lets you create a study guide and questions to kind of ask yourself on what to study and then answers to that study guide for those questions. And then an easier way of answering your questions, that's a really nice feature, and glossary important words. So it really structures your study guide to be more focused learning. Molecular. And it tells you what that is. And that's a super nice feature on how the study guide can be used. I really want to show you the slide deck show because I know that's like really what you guys really like is your slide deck. It generated you a PowerPoint based on your subject. Even though I uploaded PowerPoint, it made its own PowerPoint. That like, oh, I want things in more structure. However, it made it, and it's really nice. And you can download this, and I've downloaded to my Good Notes so I can write on it, and kind of like highlight and circle what's important. And what the nice thing about NotebookLM with the Google system, it's a little more precise regarding medical information. I know a chat, even though I read the chapter of that topic and I'll generate that, PDF into chat GBT, it will give me some wrong answers sometimes because I'm like, wait a second, that wasn't in the material. Your numbers are off. And if I didn't read it, I wouldn't know chat was giving me the wrong answer. But I've noticed with NotebookLM, Gemini, it's really more precise as regards to medical stuff. And like, I think it's more efficient than chat because it's more for education. So you can actually revise your here. Actually, this is a new feature because it didn't have this before. You can revise your PowerPoint and like, hey, I want to tweak it a little bit, which is a really nice new feature they added on here, which is really cool for you teachers. If you're like, oh, I want to take this out, I want to add this to it, and I can tell, you can tell, okay, can you change this, and it's going to change it for you. I want to go to this slide, change this portion here, and you can tell it, and that's more customizable. So these are a lot of new features that I see that they added, which is so cool to make it really customizable to how you want to teach it. And that way you can organize your slideshow. Oh, let's go back to Studio. That wasn't the first one. That was another slide deck I had made. Let's go back to the original one that I made. You can customize it and tell it to tweak it a little bit, which is a really nice new feature to change the PowerPoint on this. And then you can actually have it start a slideshow, and then like you can basically say you just want to be in NotebookLM, you want to expand it, and like, hey, I just want to give me a slideshow to my class, and it's going to generate a big screen and it's going to play for you, and you can talk as you go, which is really, really nice. Or you can tell it when to move, like it's going to do a show. If you click on the screen, it's going to go to the next page. But if I want to go back, or let's see, let me go back. Oh, I guess it didn't click on it, it just keeps going. So you can go back and go, hey, I missed, so I want to go review this again. Now make me a big screen, and now let's go back to the full screen. Let's see. Collapse viewer. Slideshow. That's what it is. So if you want to go back, you can just exit out real quick and go back to that specific slide. But as you tap on it, it's going to go to the next slide, and you can teach as you go for each slide and speak about it however you like. And you didn't have to think about making it. It just generates based on the material you uploaded. And you can customize it, which is such a new feature that didn't have before. And I thought that was really cool that they have that now. You can, oh, I want to take this portion out. I want to add this portion, revise the slideshow. That's really cool too. And, I had it generate me another slideshow. Let's see what it generated based on the other thing I clicked on. This was kind of cool. And let's see what it made. It made a different style based on what click I did on, I forgot what I chose, but it made a different style. And you can have it make multiple styles until you find like the one you want. So you play around with it, do what you want, add what you want to it. It really saves you a bunch of time, so you have more time to watch those TV shows, or more time to play some sports game and watch the game. I know my good friend is a Dodger fan, and I didn't really know much about baseball, but she taught me so much about baseball. And I really enjoy watching baseball now because it's such a strategy game, which is kind of cool. She gave me a whole lesson history. That was really fun, and I had a good time watching baseball. So that's what you can do. You have more time for other extracurricular activities because, life is pretty busy. Besides having a job, or if you decide you want to go back to school and get your PhD or your master's, you can use this for yourself or use it for your class, and give you the ability to have more time to be able to customize your teaching for whatever teaching style. If you have students who are more visual, this is such a beneficial thing to have. And now let's see here. That was a different slideshow. Let's see what else. Let's see. Oh, sorry. So I had to start another video, part 2. I guess 30 minutes passed by. We only got through a few things. So again, we got through in the last video. We got through podcasts, interactive, slideshow, different ways of making the slideshow, what it generated. We went through mind map. and we did a study guide. So let's see here, and let's go ahead and take a look at. I had to make me a couple different videos, I believe. So let's see what it generated. I think this is the one where I clicked. So this made a 6-minute video. I think this is when I chose Notebook LM style, generic. And you could actually, just how we did the PowerPoint and have it expand for your class to see, you can actually do the same thing to the video and play the video for your class. So we can expand it and play it on the screen. So this one generated this. So this was a generated the Notebook LM style, and that was nice. The other one I had it auto generate me something that of its choosing and see. Let's see what it turned out in this video. So I like how cutesy it is because I like color because color pops out at me. So you can have it generate stuff like that. And then this one would be, this one is the reporting. Like I had to generate, the other one was a study guide. This one is basically like a blog reporting. So it's actually created like a blog and of the material that I uploaded from my source. And that's how it can generate that way. If for the people who really like to read and write, that reading really resonates with them. I like to read less, but I read because I have to. But I do enjoy reading, learning new things. So, and then that's the that portion here. We went through a slideshow. Let's see what clinical essential airway management on the infrared cheat sheet that generated me a nice little cheat sheet that I can kind of like study off of the structure of what to do in basic airway, assess, assemble, hyperoxygenate. And you can basically expand it for your students too. Oh, let's see if we can get it to expand. Or you can send this and share it to your students. You can download it and basically download it, put it in an email, send it to all your students. So that's really cool for a quick cheat sheet. That is really fun and less thinking of creation, saves you a lot of time. So you can focus more instead of creating all this material for your class, you let this thing create for you, and then you're able to really hone in on the lecture and helping you students individually if need be, however you like to do it, whatever style teaching is. And so now we can go here to how it made me a grid, like the data sheet, and you can basically expand it and go through a little quick, you know. So it made me a little, data sheet that tells me specifically, oh, okay, I want to understand the difference of oral intubation versus endotracheal intubation and kind of see what the sizing pressure is and put it side by side to do a comparison. So that way I'm not confusing the topics or even tracheostomy care. Like I can say, okay, I know these are the sizes for tracheostomy care. and why and when I'll use it in more condensed way. So this helps when you need to see a little more visual structure and condensing the material that you just read. So this has been very useful. I like these charts too. And you can do the same thing, export your sheet. When you export it, which I showed, I gotta look at her name again. Saran. I'm gonna learn. I guess I'm gonna Saran. I showed Saran that she can export it, and it's gonna export into your Excel, and then you can have it on your Excel sheet if you want it to save the material. You can export, and then you can basically add to your Excel sheet. So it's real customizable to export certain things, and I believe this is so cool. So basically, I export it into there. I hope it shows you all this. I hope it gets all the material here. Let's see. I'm gonna have to rewatch it just to make sure that I cover the content if I have to redo it again or so. So then, that was from basically the table that we made. And here we made some flashcards. And then you can even like go through your class and test everybody and say which one what is the recommended suction pressure range for adult. I believe it's like 120 is the max, I believe. 100 to 120 for adults. Let's see if I'm right. I'm gonna click it. 120 to 150. Oh, it was pretty close. And then like, oh, I got it right, and it was really good. Or if I don't know, can you explain it to me? And it's going to give you an explanation on why it's those limits. So that's really cool. Or if I want to put this a section that I need to learn, I don't know it, I can put X and it'll go to my pile that I need to learn some more. Or I can go this one. This one is pretty easy, but I can put this in, and it'll start tallying up how many you need to study more and which ones you actually got it down. And you just go to the next one. What is the recommended? Suction pressure for an infant. I believe that's no more than 80 millimeters of mercury. Let's see, 80 to 100 millimeters of mercury. Pretty close. Like you can just play with this. You can expand it for your class and kind of let's go through these question flashcards real quick for those visual flashcard learners. I love flashcards. I feel my brain always retains things better in a question and flashcard answer, and it helps get me ready to take a test. I enjoy flashcards. And what I also enjoy when I have flashcards too is that I'll record myself vocally as I'm going through the flashcards and then listen to my own voice reading the flashcard to me that I recorded. Because there's something within the brain hearing its own voice and going through flashcards. Adding the extra feature of recording your own voice and going through the flashcards helps you retain it much better, which I find has been exceptional to help me get through material a lot faster. So if I have all my flashcards for me, I run through the flashcards 2 or 3 times. I'm ready for the test because I've gotten so good at recording myself and listening to myself, and I retain the information because it's in my own voice. And I find that useful. I don't know if that would be good for any of your students, but I found that to be useful to record myself. And then because I recorded the flashcards as I'm saying and answering it, and if I get it wrong, I tell myself what I got wrong, what the answer was. And I had the recording, so while I'm doing some other stuff, I can listen to my own recording and basically study as I'm doing stuff. So that's been a nice thing that I like to do with my flashcards. And you can, recommend that for some of your auditory and visual learners as well. I find that going through flashcards is kind of tactical and more visual, and then going to the recording myself, it was for my auditory sensory. And those two combined really helped me retain the flashcard information a lot faster. And I find myself not having to work on the flashcard as long. Because sometimes when you make 1,000 flashcards, it can get mundane. But if you record yourself, saves you a little more processing time and more efficiency. So that's a helpful tool I like to do with my flashcards. And then after running through your flashcards, you can go into the quiz. Basically we made a quiz already. So I'm gonna go into the quiz here and basically take the quiz and see how much I know. and then it'll tally up the points afterwards. Like, okay, here, what is the adult thing? Adult pressure, basically a C. It tells you when you're right. And then you go through the next one. It's like, what is the maximum duration for endotracheal suctioning passing? 15 seconds. And it basically says you're right. And if you get it wrong, you're like, why did I get it wrong? Explain it to me. And you can hit the explain it and it'll explain it to you. So I believe we went through everything. Um, and then you can just kind of play with it and have it customize you some stuff. I love using this by uploading the chapter of what we're studying, and it's been a game changer for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this a lot, and this video finds helpful to you, and that you can kind of, if need be, fast. I like it on YouTube because I can fast forward and get to the information that I need out of it. Because if sometimes you already know one portion, but you need to figure out, hey, how do I want to go to the part about making the video and what it looks like. So I hope you enjoy this. I'll make another video for the gizmo, but yeah, this is my first time really making a full video, and I'm gonna review this. So I hope it works out well.